Hi! I'm here with Carly again, and this time we're going to review a book and talk about a book called Sway, and I'm going to let Carly set up the premise if you haven't read it.
Okay, awesome. So, we have a character named Jesse. His nickname is Sway, and basically he is kind of more of the bad boy type. He, I don't know, secretly buys alcohol for people. He gets, fake IDs?
Drugs.
He's
very bad.
Yeah, he's a little out there. Anyway, so there's a really popular football player named Ken. Ken?
Yeah, Ken and Barbie.
Ken and Barbie.
Not really.
And so basically, Ken wants Sway to try and get this girl named Bridget to basically fall in love with Ken. And Sway then, as you could probably imagine, starts, as he gets more information from Bridget, ends up falling for Bridget himself. And that's basically that's just the whole gist of the book.
Yeah.
Right?
So read it to see what happens.
Yes, you're going to want to know. If
they end up together. Basically.
Or if she ends up with Ken, or if if Sway doesn't change at all, or if he just kind of just stays the same.
Yeah. That's really all we can say without spoiling anything.
Yeah.
So,
basically it.
If you haven't read it, again, we recommend this book, and if you want to stay, then you can, but we're gonna kind of spoil some stuff. So
yes.
If you haven't, stay. If you want to be spoiled, if you have read it, then come feel with us. Come talk.
Come into our book world.
Come talk about this very, very interesting book.
Okay.
So, alright.
First topic.
So him in the beginning, it doesn't really go back to it, but him wanting to commit suicide and then leading up to that point and then kind of moving on after that.
Yes. So in the beginning of the book, basically it seems like Jesse, I'm gonna call him Jesse. I don't really like Sway.
Yeah.
But I used to kind of see that Jesse wants to kill himself, and then near the end of the book, it's definitely, obviously the tables turn a lot, and I feel like Bridget and her little brother have
changed
him. Yes.
Yeah.
What's her little brother's name again? I think.
It's been a while since we read this.
Yeah, honestly, we're kind of a little late to the party here. Oh my fiddlesticks. Oh, no, it doesn't have it.
Darn it. Wait, I'm gonna look for it. You can continue talking.
Yes. So basically, just the change with him and wanting to go from killing himself to not, because he kind of, I guess, falling in love more with Bridget kind of, I don't know, gives him more of a sense of hope for that. Pete! There we go! I was running out of words to say. Pete. Okay.
Good old Pete. He had the sense of humor. He kind of
yes,
when I didn't like Jesse, he made me want to keep reading it because he
was kind of like the comic relief.
Yeah, a dark comic relief, but yeah.
I mean, so basically Pete is Bridget's obviously younger brother, and he had cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know what that is. I should have looked that up more when I was reading the book.
Look things up if you don't know what they are.
Honestly, or
that's
you'll be confused.
Very, very helpful. I think it's just, I would look it up. I don't want to give you wrong information.
I honestly don't really know what that. I feel like, I guess we can, I feel bad we kind of jumped from that one topic. Now we're kind of going into Pete and Jesse, but
segue.
Right through it. I guess, I feel like Jesse was a little more of a bad influence for Pete, but I feel like Pete helped him as well.
He did.
I think they balanced kind of each other out.
He was really his only friend too, so he was kind of a bad influence, but he was his only one who told him like it is. No one, he never sugarcoated it for him about how rude he was or anything.
They were very open and honest. Which is very good in a friend. I do not disagree with that. It's very good to be genuine with somebody, but they were just very blunt
very
to each other. What else with, I guess, Pete? Oh, there was even the one scene where he punches Pete. Does he punch Pete? Yeah, he punches Pete.
I think he does.
Because Pete was talking bad to Bridget. So that was just kind of weird. I mean, some scenes like that in the book, you were just kind of
I didn't understand it. I felt like he didn't change. I felt personally Jesse's change was really slow and gradual, and he kept which is fine, because you can't expect someone to change right off the bat. It's takes one step forward but 2 steps back, which is fine, but I still feel at the end he doesn't fully get to like the point where I wanted him to be, but he still changes for her. Although I don't know, like Bridget, she confuses me. Like she says she's not a good, I don't know, like she's not the good girl, but she is the good girl.
Bridget was, well,
she's not there a lot. She's not there. You can't really.
Yeah, because this is basically in the perspective of Jessie, and you don't really know how. Leah even said that she felt more like you could tell Ken. You felt like Bridget was with Ken more than she was with Jessie.
Yeah, she had more scenes with him, definitely.
Yeah, I mean there was one phone call that Bridget and Jessie had, and you could definitely tell there was a connection there, but it just wasn't like.
Elaborate on it. I wanted there to be more after that, and then there wasn't. It was mostly his deals, honestly. If you like that,
honestly, yes.
If
all
you
the
like,
time and all these people that you just couldn't keep track of.
Characters coming in and out of the book, and it was very confusing because you had the main story, and then you had all of his deals as he was trying to change and get out of it, and he was like very immersed in the world that he was. He even like dealt with the principal. It's like
he like the principal wanted to get rid of the one boy that was like had been held back for a couple years, and that was just very odd.
Yeah,
it was very like scandalous, honestly.
The old man that he like befriends, I love him. He's my favorite.
Yes, the old man was honestly.
We're just forgetting all these names. Feel bad. I'm gonna look for it.
The thing was though that when Jessie lied, saying that it was his grandfather when it wasn't, and Leah said that Bridget still believed that it was his grandfather, and I was just kind of.
I was just surprised that he kept that still.
Yeah, like, he just wasn't being honest with her after I feel like everything that's happened. Gotta be honest. Did you find it?
Mr. Dunkelman! I even love that name, Mr. Dunkelman. Oh my goodness. And
Mr. Dunkelman.
I felt bad, like he had no one to come for him, and he had all this money, and then he like gave it away at the end, but I just loved him. He like was like the grandfather that the parent. I feel like he was the parent that Jessie didn't have because his dad was, I don't even know. His dad always had that like girl around.
Yeah.
After his shows and.
Oh yeah, and his kids never really like liked him, right?
Yeah.
They were just never really. I don't know, but he was a nice character.
I loved him.
I liked him.
He might have been my favorite one.
Yeah,
Mr. Dunkelman.
Yeah. Bridget was too complicated. Jessie was too mysterious.
Pete was just too
honest. I don't know.
Yeah. And Ken was Ken. Ken was Ken.
Is there anything else you wanted to specifically say?
It's mostly just that. It's mostly the deal.
Honestly, yeah.
If you like that, like...
If you like more of that, kind of...
Like less romance, more...
Yeah, it wasn't really that romantic of a story. I mean, the ending was a little... Not really, actually. Yeah, I'm thinking about it, like, talking about it now, it doesn't...
Because she's mostly with Ken, and then at the very end, she can finally openly start a, like, relationship with him.
Yeah. What happened with Ken, though, when he found out that Jessie was going to end up with it? Did that ever... I kind of forget.
He threatened, and that's where they came up in the very prologue. He punched her and said, don't come to the party. I don't honestly remember what happened at the end with Ken. I think he just, like, went away. Like, Bridget found out that he was lying. She found out everyone was lying to her. I kind of felt bad for her.
Yeah, it was a little sad. But, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, that actually was a little messed up. I felt bad for Bridget when she found out all that stuff. But, I mean, well, they seemed happy at the end. So yeah. I guess they definitely resolved it out.
Did you, since this, just for curious... Bridget, like, asks everyone before she, like, gets to know them, like, what their superpower would be. What would be yours if you had to choose one?
Yeah, that's a good question, man. Oh, I'm sorry. Just fine. I would have to say, honestly, I get that question so much, and I don't even know that.
I didn't think that was
I get that all the
question.
I think I would have to say... I think I would actually want to be invisible because because I would say fly to like travel everywhere, but I think if I could be invisible, I could just like sneak on a plane, sneak on a train, and go to places that I want to. It's all about travel with me. I just want to travel.
Just
everywhere.
Travel.
But I would say be invisible.
Be invisible.
How about you, hon? I know, right? It's like a thinking question.
I kind of asked that, thinking I'll probably be asked that, but I don't really know I'm gonna. Let's see.
This is hard. I know, it's difficult. You could mind read.
Oh, I wouldn't want to mind read. I don't want to know what people think.
I'd rather just
let that stay in their own heads. Maybe, it's hard. I feel like maybe Fly, like kind of the average ones, Fly or Invisible, because for me it's kind of different for Invisible. It kind of I guess goes with the mind read thing, but not mind read because you don't have all the thoughts in your head. Yeah. But you could be in a room and no one will know you're there, and you can like
so you can actually kind of hear what they're saying.
Like if you're like curious, or just like you want to be at a concert and you can't, or like I don't know, if you just want to go somewhere and I don't know. Like,
I'm actually feeling
you're not like allowed. I don't know. Like you can just go a bunch of places and just go back into your like house if you have to be in 2 places at once. Like
perfect,
swoop in and out kind of thing. But then flying's just
flying. I mean, like if a tsunami came, like you could definitely just like fly over, like you'd be safe. But like
or maybe control over water. I don't know.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
if you could just like flip water
or breathe underwater.
Oh, breathe.
Oh,
I wanted to be mermaid.
Same.
Yeah, so I guess Invisible.
So if you've read the book and you feel similar things, then please comment. We'd love to hear. Yeah. And what's your superpower that you would choose? I obviously cannot decide mine. Carly, I think, has changed her mind about invisibility. I don't know. Oh yeah, what do you rate it?
I give this book a... I'm honestly talking about this with you with the change. I think my rating went down a little bit.
Oh really? Because she liked it more than me.
I thought he did a decent change, but honestly talking about it more, I'd give it a maybe like a 3.5. A little bit lower than Milk Rosie. How about you?
I give it a 3 because I liked
it. She gives it a 3.
I really liked it. And I thought it was good. It was like kind of slow paced for me, and there wasn't as much romance, and I like romance in books. And it was like the boy perspective. I haven't read many books with boy perspectives, and it's hard for me to relate and get into the character. But otherwise I thought it was a good read. It was enjoyable and debatable. So yeah, let us know what you think, and we'll see you for our next book talk.
Yes, awesome.
All right, bye guys.